In this video, we're going to show how to use work orders to schedule repair jobs. Before I start though, I just want to point out that we'll be using our test database, and we have lots of customers in there. All this information is fake data. We just put together random pieces of information so we could do this demo. Nobody's personal information is being exposed. All the email addresses, the personal addresses, the phone numbers, everything is fake. All right. Now, when a customer needs service, they can do one or two things. They can pick up the phone and call you and ask for service, or they can submit what we call a service request through their customer portal. And let me show you what that looks like. This is the customer portal. They simply click on the communicate button and then roll over request service and click it. And it's a very simple thing. They simply select the pool, the type of service that they need. In this case, they want a repair, and then they simply type a message explaining what kind of services they need, and then they click the submit button. That's all there is to it. Now, when they do send you a service request, it will show up in your unscheduled service request list. Before we go there, there's one other way that you can be sent a service request for repair work, and it would be coming from the techs in the field through their mobile app. So let me show you what that looks like. So in the mobile app, the tech goes in and pulls up a customer, and they can click on the more button, and it comes up with this list of more options, and you'll see service requests. So if the tech is out there cleaning the pool and he sees that something needs repairing, he'll come in here, click the service request button, and simply type a message here, or he could select one of the preset messages that are showing up in his list. He can include a photo and then hit finish, take the photo, and it will submit the service request in your unscheduled service request list just the same way the customer did when they did it through their customer portal. Okay, just wanted to point it out to you. Either way, you're going to get a service request inside of your unscheduled service request list. So let's take a look at that list. Click on unscheduled service request, and here's the one that the customer sent to you. So you'd simply click on it, scroll down to the description box, and read what it says. In this case, it says the pool pump is making noise, but the water is looking cloudy and dirty. The pump is old, and I need an estimate to replace it ASAP. Okay, so the customer needs an estimate. Because they want an estimate needs to include parts and labor. We cannot use a task list to do this job. So we're going to create something called a work order. So to go back, you'll notice, when we go back to our list, you'll notice here is the service request from the customer. If you go over to the right, you'll see there's a work order button. Simply click on that, and you can create a work order from scratch. Another way that you can create a work order is to simply copy it. For this one, we're going to show you how to create a work order from scratch. So I'm going to keep it simple, just for the argument of demonstration. So I select labor. I'm going to add a simple labor task. So let's just say remove old pump. And let's say I'm going to take 1 hour to do that. What kind of labor? I'm going to select skilled labor. In this case, I'm paying my guy $20 and I'm charging the customer $35 for that labor. If I want to, I can change that number here. Let's say I want to charge $30. And then I click the submit button, and now I have my first labor task on my work order. So I'm going to add another one, again keeping it simple. I'm going to say install the new pump, and let's say 2 hours. Again, I'm going to choose my skilled labor, and I'm going to change it to $30, and I'm going to hit the submit button, and I'll have my second labor task. Now I'm going to select a part from inventory, so I'm select from inventory, and I choose the part. Let's say I choose this 3-speed pump, and a quantity of 1. I hit the submit button, and you notice I didn't have to specify how much I'm paying for it and how much I'm charging for it. That's because all of that has already been set up in inventory. When you set up inventory, those are some of the pieces of information that you supply. Okay, so that's basically my work order. And now what I want to do is to review the estimate that the customer is going to see. So I click the estimate button, and it brings up my worksheet. I want to see the actual estimate that the customer is going to see. So to do that, I click the view print button, and this is what the customer is going to see. They'll look over the numbers, and if they like what they see, they will click this button right here that says click here to approve the estimate. When they do, they'll confirm that they're approving it, and it will update the system. Okay, so before that, any of that can happen, I need to email this to my customer. So I'm going to click the email estimate button, and put in a subject. I always put estimate you requested so they know it's not spam. And there's my email automatically filled in. And then if I want to send a copy to someone else, I can fill it in. I can put in a message below, and then I simply click submit. And I get my success message. And now I can go back and I can look at the status of my work orders. So let's go to work orders. I roll over task manager, click work orders, and it brings up this display. And you'll notice that it's color coded. So when it's white like this, it starts off in an open state, just like that. And it means that I have either not emailed it yet, which I have done. So you see it updated the status to show that I at least emailed the estimate to the customer. And then the next thing is it's going to be shown to the customer, the estimate, and then the customer will approve the estimate, and you will see the status will change. For argument's sake, let's just say that we go back to this work order and the customer has called us and said, hey, I want to move forward with this job, so please go ahead and approve the estimate so we can do it ourselves. So I click the approve button, and it asks me to confirm. So I select yes, and I click submit. So now my estimate has been approved. So let's go back and look at that work order. And you notice that now it is in green. And you can see that the column with estimate approved shows that it is indeed approved and the date and the time that it was approved. If my system is properly set up, I will also receive a text message. But to get that, I have to make sure that I have set up my preferences. So if you roll over preferences and you click system settings and you scroll down, you will see message phone. That's where you put the phone number for the phone that you want to receive text messages from the system telling you that the customer has approved the estimate. And you will also see email. So if you want to receive a notification by email, this is where you would put your email addresses. As you can see, there are 4 different such email and phone numbers that you can supply. Once you supply that, the system will automatically notify you. Okay, so my estimate, just to go back to the work orders, the estimate has been approved. So now I can schedule this work to be done. I can do it from here by clicking on the work order and then simply clicking the schedule button. And now I want to schedule the work, so I'm going to select the date when that can be done. Now, suppose I need to do a few things before I can actually do the work. Let's go back and look at our unscheduled service request. Now here's the service request that we added the work order to. But if I need to order a part and I cannot do this immediately, then I need to change the job status. As you can see, there are different job statuses that you can apply to this and put it on hold. That's so that other people in the office will see what status there is and why the job hasn't been scheduled. Okay? In this case, let's say there are no parts that need to be ordered. There's no reason to put the job on hold, so we're just going to go ahead and schedule the work to be done. Again, we just simply click the schedule button, and I click the start date. Let's say we're going to do it, let's say next Wednesday, and start it at 10 o'clock. Let's say we'll be done by noon, and we want to notify the customer one day in advance of the appointment. Because this involves a lot of money, I also want to quick bill. Quick bill means that I want the system to automatically bill the customer for the charges as soon as the work gets done. I also want to exempt this bill from autopay. Autopay is our process that automatically charges the customer's credit card for payment. The customer doesn't necessarily want to pay this large bill by credit card, so they want to actually give me a check. So yes, I want to quick bill, but I also want to exempt it from autopay. And then I click submit. So now if I go back to my scheduled services, I will see that that job has been scheduled here for 10 a.m. Okay, and it's a work order. And that's how you simply set up jobs to handle repair work that requires a work order.